Breaking news! The Ravens' top cornerback is injured, but not from a hit during the game. Not from a misstep in practice. Not even from contact with an opposing player. What happened to Nate Wiggins is something that's going to leave you shaking your head, possibly yelling at your screen, and definitely questioning what the hell is going on in the Ravens locker room. This wasn't a fluke. It was avoidable. It was frustrating. And it could have major implications heading into Monday Night Football against one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," down below so we know you're locked in and rolling with us. Now, let me show you exactly how this bizarre situation unfolded. Nate Wiggins, the Ravens' #1 cornerback, did not practice on Thursday, and the reason why is turning heads for all the wrong reasons. Now, let's set the stage. The Ravens' defense is coming off a big performance against Cleveland, and Wiggins had one of the most impactful plays of the game, an interception off Joe Flacco, returning it nearly to the house before being taken down around the 5-yard line. But instead of the moment being remembered for his big play, it's become infamous for what happened right after. As Wiggins got up, clearly energized and starting to celebrate his big play, he was completely blindsided by his own teammate. Out of nowhere, cornerback Chidobe Awuzie, hyped and flying in from behind, launched himself onto Wiggins in what can only be described as a Superman tackle. Wiggins wasn't even looking. He had no idea it was coming. And that unnecessary collision? That's what caused his injury. This wasn't a play made in aggression or rivalry. It was pure celebration. But in a league where availability is everything, especially for a team trying to claw its way through a tough AFC schedule, this kind of friendly fire just isn't acceptable. We're talking about one of the most critical players in the secondary taking a hit from his own teammate, and now we're holding our breath hoping it doesn't cost the Ravens on Monday night. To be clear, Wiggins finished the game. That's important, but as the fourth quarter wore on, he was visibly limping. Multiple reports, including those relayed by Jeff Zrebiec, confirmed what many feared. John Harbaugh admitted Wiggins was fine but also added the telling phrase, "We'll see," when asked about his Monday night availability. And with Detroit's high-powered offense rolling into Baltimore, "we'll see" just isn't the kind of answer fans want to hear. Let's not forget just how dominant Wiggins was before the injury. 9 targets, only 15 yards allowed. He had a forced incompletion, a huge interception, and a passer rating of just 12.0 when targeted. That's elite. That's exactly what the Ravens need from their top corner going up against the likes of Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and Sam Laporta. Now, you add this Wiggins injury to the already concerning Marlon Humphrey situation, who left Sunday's game with a hamstring issue, and you've got serious concerns in the secondary. That's 2 of your top 3 corners compromised heading into a matchup with one of the NFL's most dynamic wide receiver groups. Add in the uncertainty around Jaire Alexander, and suddenly the Ravens' cornerback room is looking dangerously thin. And yes, fans are absolutely livid. Not at Nate, not even at Awuzie entirely, but at the absurdity of the situation. It's one thing to lose a player to a tackle, a cut, a bad landing. But a celebratory body slam? In a league as physical as the NFL, where injuries already pile up, the last thing you need is to lose a key player because someone got a little too hyped. There's also a deeper question here. Was this preventable? Should the coaching staff be preaching more situational awareness during celebrations? Should players know better than to jump full force on an unsuspecting teammate? Because as much as we love the passion and the brotherhood that comes with celebrating big moments, this isn't a college game. These guys are assets to their teams and to their seasons. And here's where things get even more nerve-wracking. Let's assume Nate Wiggins does suit up Monday night. Even then, he's not going to be at 100%, and that's a major problem. Why? Because the Detroit Lions are not the Cleveland Browns. This isn't Joe Flacco dropping back and lobbing questionable throws into tight windows. This is Jared Goff operating one of the most well-oiled defensive machines in the NFL right now, loaded with playmakers who can stretch the field, beat man coverage, and turn short passes into explosive plays. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown coming off a 115-yard, 3-touchdown performance. You've got Jameson Williams, who had 108 yards and a touchdown on just 2 catches in the same game. That's 223 yards and 4 touchdowns between just those 2 guys. Then throw in Sam Laporta, an emerging star at tight end, and Jaire Gibbs and David Montgomery as one of the league's most versatile backfield tandems. This is not the week you want a banged-up cornerback room. And it's not just Wiggins. Marlon Humphrey is also battling a hamstring injury. He's another cornerstone of this defense whose status remains uncertain. And let's not forget Chidobe Awuzie. Yes, the same Awuzie who hit Wiggins. He's healthy, but now under scrutiny, and likely under pressure to make up for that reckless moment. All of that leads to a terrifying reality. The Ravens might be marching into one of their biggest games of the season with a depleted secondary, just as Detroit's offense is peaking. So what's the contingency? Do the Ravens roll out Jalen Armour Davis? Is Arthur Maulet going to see more snaps in the slot? Could rookie TJ Tampa be pressed into a starting role against top-tier wideouts? And what if Jaire Alexander isn't available or isn't up to speed? These aren't just depth questions, they're potentially game-defining issues. You can't defend a team like Detroit with patchwork coverage and hope for the best. You need chemistry, communication, and confidence. All three are hard to come by when you're plugging holes days before kickoff. Even more concerning, this isn't a meaningless early season game. This is a statement game for Baltimore. At home, under the lights, against a top-tier NFC opponent. The Ravens are 1-1, same as Detroit, and both teams are coming off losses to playoff-caliber teams. This matchup could serve as a turning point, the kind of win that launches a team forward, or the kind of loss that exposes critical weaknesses. And one of those potential weaknesses is now directly tied to a completely avoidable injury. That's the part that's tough to swallow. Wiggins didn't get hurt fighting through a block or chasing down a receiver. He got taken out by a teammate in a moment of celebration. It's like slipping on confetti at your own birthday party. It's not malicious, but it leaves a bruise. Now, on the other side of the ball, there's pressure on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense to step up and carry more of the load. And while Lamar has been exceptional so far, clearly the superior quarterback in this matchup, it's a tall ask. You don't want to go into Monday needing a shootout to win. That's not the identity this Ravens team has built. They thrive on balance, stifling defense, complementary offense, and smart game management. But if the secondary is leaking yards, that balance crumbles fast. Suddenly, you're chasing points. You're shortening possessions. You're putting Lamar in situations where every drive has to be perfect. And that's how mistakes happen. Let's be honest, this Monday night game is going to tell us a lot about the 2025 Baltimore Ravens. Are they resilient enough to overcome adversity, even self-inflicted adversity? Can the coaching staff patch together a plan to neutralize one of the league's most explosive units, despite having critical injuries at the worst possible time? And more importantly, can Nate Wiggins get it out and still play at a high level? Because if he can't, and if Marlon Humphrey can't either, then the Ravens' season trajectory could be taking a sharp detour. What started as a promising campaign could quickly become an uphill battle. So here's the question I want to leave you with. If you're John Harbaugh, do you trust Wiggins to play through it, or do you prioritize long-term health and keep him sidelined, even if it means risking a loss on Monday night? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and check out the next video coming up on your screen now. We've got exclusive insight all weekend long leading into Monday Night Football. This is the place to be. Go Ravens!